Greetings, St. John's friends. Have you ever come home from work or play sometime and come into the house and said, man, am I ever starving? Sure we have. Or maybe something as ludicrous as this phrase, do you remember this? I am so hungry, I could eat a horse. Where did that ever come from? I don't know. But of course, as we think about hunger, there's a whole continuum, isn't there? For us, most of the time, it probably means it's just been several hours since our last meal. And boy, a snack would be nice. On the other end of that extreme, of course, are the folks who are on the brink of literal starvation, malnutritioned to the point of death. And so in our own neighborhood, in our own city, in our own country, there are so many, many, many families exacerbated during this COVID time who come maybe the 18th or the 20th or the 23rd day of the month, give or take, is when they have to start thinking about making a decision. Can I pay my utilities? Can I pay my rent? Or do I just need to focus on getting food on the table to feed my children? Hunger is a very real issue at all of those levels. Post-COVID, we need to remember that even apart from that deadly disease and how it wreaks havoc with populations around the world, we're still facing the issue, which was, at least pre-COVID, there were over 7,000 members of God's family. There were 7,000 plus people on the face of this globe who die every single day as a direct result of hunger-related causes. Certainly, it's at the basic core, the basic root of human compassion and response to the love that God has shared with all of us to say, we can feed the hungry. We can make a difference, and we can save lives. I want to invite you to take special note of this Lenten opportunity to give both money as well as food. The DMARC Food Pantry, the ELCA Hunger Program, and Meals from the Heartland all do amazing work, important work, and that's the three-way division for every dollar that comes in during this time. Please consider, if you have more than you need, please consider generosity towards the cause of feeding God's children. I want to close by sharing with you from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 25. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him. He will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats, and he will put the sheep at his right hand and the goats at the left. Then the king will say to those at his right hand, come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you took care of me. I was in prison and you visited me. And the righteous will answer him, Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry, gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? When was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you? And the king will answer them, truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of these, least of these, who are members of my family, you did it for me. Thank you for joining me today.